We'll take you back to the Vice President, Professor Osibajo, who was also in Lagos State today after the Thanksgiving service in Kogi State, where he attended the Good Leadership Initiative interactive session in Lekki. The 90-minute high-profile event is for high-net-worth individuals, business owners, corporate executives, young entrepreneurs, and aspiring leaders. The Good Leadership Initiative, a non-partisan and not-for-profit organization, promotes the emergence of highly competent Nigerians across all cadres of governance. The 2018 flood may have come and gone, but its devastating effect on several communities in Bayelsa State still lingers. One of such communities is Elebele, located in Ogrea local government area of the oil-rich state. Our community report takes a look at how the people are coping with life, as well as areas they expect intervention from the government and other stakeholders.
Old Oye Ikuru and his wife Onunabai Ikuru, indigenes of Elebele community, a few of the victims of the 2018 flood which ravaged their community. The parents of 8 children could do nothing as the flood destroyed their building, which according to the father was built with his life savings.
All my farm from bush, all the those scatter finish, no way to eat, no way to do anything. So I'm just suffering with my children now.
Elebele is an oil-producing community, and the people are traditionally fishermen and farmers. The community has an accessible road which has served them for years, but right now it's in a sorry state after the 2018 flood. According to this motorcycle operator, the road is now a death trap as its condition is worsening daily.
The bridge is as if you climb it, it will just collapse now. So it's a death trap. People are afraid of it. So they should help us. Government or Shell should help us. They are users of this road.
Schools were also affected for almost 6 weeks after the flood. This has put the children behind in the academic calendar by 6 weeks, and closing the gap is now an issue to contend with. In the hierarchy of human needs, food occupies an important position. And for these plantain and cassava farmers, whose farmland were ravaged by the flood, it's a painful experience.
Everything we stocked in total was 64,000 fishes before the flood came. And unfortunately, we were not able to rescue anyone. We could not harvest anyone. The flood took everything.
The paramount ruler of the Elebele community appeals for help on behalf of his people.
The flood so affected the buildings, affected farmlands, and affected the crops.
So we are calling on the multinationals like Shell and all the rest, especially the Bayelsa State government and the government of Nigeria, to come to our aid.
The length and breadth of this community tells the story of a people who are yet to recover from the impact of the 2018 flood. While the children play on, apparently oblivious of the many challenges of the community, it's crunch time for the adults who wait and hope intervention will come as soon as possible. Deborah Timiwood, Channels Television News.
The office of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Omenka-Isiala local government area of Abia State has been attacked by people suspected to be hoodlums, with thousands of permanent voter cards destroyed in the process. The traditional ruler of the community spoke to Channels Television at the scene, described the incident as unfortunate. There is not much to tell from this side of the fence, but a walk through the gate reveals a different story. It's the office of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Isialangwa local government area of Abia State. There has been a break-in, and the vandals have caused some serious damage. Residents who spoke off camera say the incidents occurred around 1 a.m. Sunday, with loud noises heard from the INEC office. The traditional ruler commends the efforts of those who disrupted the activities of the hoodlums.
The youth and the vigilante of the community were around, and they helped to put off the fire that could have done a lot of damage. Now, fortunately, the DPO of the division was out throughout the night, and we are talking. By tomorrow, the resident commissioner will come over and we'll all sit down and look at the security of the place.
But the destruction is enough to cause INEC some headache, as hundreds of permanent voter cards are destroyed. For Alex Oti, a politician with the All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, the incident is a repeat of 2015, and he's calling on all security agencies to be on high alert.
It's very unfortunate that we are experiencing this again in 2019. In 2015, the INEC office that was then in the local government headquarters was set ablaze.
With hundreds seemingly disenfranchised by this act, the big question for INEC will most likely be how the cards will be replaced before the election and how to ensure that all offices housing sensitive materials are kept secure. The African Development Bank is committing about $3.38 million to boost the production of Irish potatoes in Plateau State, north-central Nigeria, with the state government providing its counterpart funding for its execution. At the groundbreaking and foundation laying for the construction of the facility in Mangu local government area, Governor Simon Lalong gives the assurance that the project will boost production and the economy of the state.
The quest for diversification of the economy through sustainable agricultural growth that will promote agricultural investment, financing innovation and productivity are part of the reason for the construction of a potato tissue laboratory in Mangu local government area of Plateau State in north-central Nigeria. Financed by the African Development Bank and counterpart funding from the state government, the Potato Value Chain Support Project is to address challenges facing potato farming as it relates to improved seeds and yield, diseases, marketing, as well as storage and exportation. Governor Simon Lalong performed the groundbreaking and foundation laying for the construction of the potato tissue laboratory, where plant parts from the roots to the stem are to be propagated in the laboratory.
You will recall that recently the African Development Bank granted a facility of about $3.38 million to the state government, with a view to boosting the state great potentials in the mass production of Irish potatoes for export. This was done under the auspices of the Potato Value Chain Support project of the African Development Bank. By this development, it means that in the not too distant future, the state government will be exporting, I will say not state government, Plateau people will be exporting to other countries of the world, not only Irish potatoes, but also its allied products of the potato value chain.
The project will also support all year-round potato farming through provision of irrigation facilities for dry season farming, construction of small earth dams, training farmers in improved seedling technology, and construction of rural roads in the identified communities.
We all know the problem of potato, the challenges that we face, post-harvest losses, potato blight disease that has made farmers, some of them have even abandoned farming potato, and the issue of marketing and storage. So these things have been taken into account by the project.
With the establishment of a potato tissue culture laboratory through the Potato Value Chain Project, Plateau State is set to join the League of Potato Producers in large quantity that will be able to meet local and international market needs, thereby improving the food security of the state.
Well, let's now take you to the arts. This veteran artist has been off the radar for some time now, and he has returned to share his creativity. Art Review tonight presents Osaloka Osadebe at the National Museum in Lagos.
The words of the best-selling author, Austin Kleon, are amongst the things this contemporary artist has armed herself with as part of the inspiration for this solo exhibition, besides the fact that a lot of things run through her mind and the only way she can find expression is through her art.
I titled my exhibition, You Haven't Seen It All, because it actually happens to be my very first solo. In the past, I have had struggles with myself. I've been very used to working in a monotonous style against my wish, because I was too glued to the academic kind of art where you're looking for representational art, you're looking for resemblance and all of that. And so I had, an urge to break away, to, release myself, my true genius, and express myself as the painter I truly am.
And that is what birthed this show, which she calls You Haven't Seen Nothing Yet. Taye Erewele explains the concept.
I think it's colors that make life worth living. For example, if you were living in a room that didn't have any light, you wouldn't appreciate, for example, the color of the fabric you yourself is wearing, or your furniture, or even the television set, because there will be no light to power it. I think life experiences, guided my thoughts when I was producing these colors.
For her, painting compares to a childlike adventure, one that she has embarked on, and the ride has been a delightsome one. We see it in pieces such as To Be or Not, Twilight, Betrothed, some of these issues that affect her gender.
That piece behind, titled My Fairy Passion, just talks about how passionate my journey has been. I actually have a very interesting story. Before I became an artist, I had meddled into two other courses. At a point in my life, I studied geography and regional planning. At some point again, I studied estate management. But then there was this void in me that I needed to fill, and so, I started on that course of self-discovery. This work just tells you that I'm very passionate about what I do.
Taye Erewele is a graduate of the Ambrose Ali University in Edo State. She has held over 15 group exhibitions, and her subjects are usually gender-related.